Good evening, and I want to also thank the Wallin Civic Association for putting this on, and for everyone that came out tonight. I knew that Wallin would turn out for this event, and it's nice to see everyone in the room tonight interested and engaged, because that's what we need. I'm Charlie Wallin, and I am running for County Commission. I am one of the challengers as well, and I will be representing District 5, even though we vote for the whole district. I am looking forward to this opportunity. I have been involved civically for a long time in this community and area. I've lived here over 30 years. I served almost 10 years on the Watauga County Planning Board, 6 of them as the vice chair. I have also been engaged in many nonprofits in this area. I have been working at ASU for almost over 20 years. And before that, I ran all the Pizza Huts in town that are no longer around. Back in the 90s, when they were still profitable and they were locally owned and operated, as many of you may not know. So I've been in the area for a long time, and I've worked to give back to my community in every way, shape I can. Whether it's coaching young children that I've done for Parks and Rec, just being involved in Parks and Rec, whether it has been, like I said, engaged with local nonprofits, helping them, working with the school systems. I have a wonderful daughter who's here supporting me tonight that's 10 years old and helping in her school. And I just want to keep that civic duty as we go forward. I want to be able to represent you on the County Commission, because that's who I represent. I represent each and every one of you here in this room tonight. I represent not only my area over in District 5, but I represent Wallin, and I represent Boone, and I represent Seven Devils, and I represent Cove Creek, and all the different areas around the county. And I take that seriously. And anybody will tell you I work really hard at what I do, and I stay heavily engaged and involved. And thank you all for being here tonight. One of the things that you'll find out pretty quickly if I'm elected as the commissioner is that I like to be everywhere, and I like to be engaged with a lot of people. I represent a lot of different organizations, and one of them is a district-wide organization, and they will tell you there's 11 counties that I work with, and I try to at least be there at least every month or every other month, and that's covering spans from here all the way down to Stokes County. And let me tell you, going from here to Stokes County, that's a 2-hour and 30-minute drive. So I want to be out and be engaged with people, and I want to be involved. And I'll be here being at the town meetings to see what's going on and listen. I can't promise I'll be at every single one of them, but I'll be as many as I can to hear what the needs are and what's going on. I already constantly am in Wallin for different events, different things. I'm the director of catering on campus, and we've been doing a lot of events here in Wallin. So we've been spending a lot of time at a lot of private homes. We've been doing a lot of things for Brom, and I've really been excited about the partnership we've formed with them, and trying to promote everything going on over there, and to get people interested and involved, and just building up and doing whatever we can here in Wallin. And so when my daughter loves to come over here and use the park, she loves to be over here hanging out and just having a great time being here. She might love to come and get some ice cream every once in a while, and to be downtown just enjoying this beautiful community. And one of the stories I love to tell is when I was a young ASU student, and even in my younger days, I spent a lot of time playing basketball over here every Saturday, Sunday afternoon with whoever. And so, you won't worry about being able to see me. I'll be here, and I'll be available, and I'll be accessible, and you'll never have to worry about that.
Thank you.
I have been putting out signs, and some have went up this afternoon as well. It'll probably be roughly around 15 to 20. I do not like them. They are a necessary evil, is what I call them, of being in the campaign business. And I really try to limit as many as I can put out, and I hope that more homeowners will take them and put them out and put them in their yard, so that we don't have to clutter up intersections. I will say one of the things that can be done is, being a member of the planning board, there is a sign ordinance, and there is a limitation that we can put on these signs and how often they're out. And when I was on the planning board originally, we greatly reduced how long the political signs could be out. That's been reversed now, and it's a lot longer. And so I think the shorter amount of time, the better. If they didn't go up until the day before. Oh, you didn't. I thought you were going to give it to me at 15. So. Well, I didn't, but I thought we were going to do 15. So. All right, thank you.
Okay. Boiling Rock may not be geographically centered in Watauga County, but it arguably has the highest proportion of elderly demographic with the highest probability of needing emergency services and the ability to pay for those services when needed. Why shouldn't Boiling Rock have a full-time ambulance when the town is offering the facilities to accommodate the truck and crew for virtually nothing?
One of the things that I believe in is making sure that we do have the proper coverage in all of the county. One of the things that the district that myself or Tommy would be representing would argue they need one as well. And I think that both areas need full-time coverage. We worked on the western end of the county and got them something. Now we need to make sure that this end of the county, I work with numerous employees at ASU that live in this area, and this is one of their biggest complaints to me is making sure that we have full-time coverage for the citizens here to be able to have an ambulance that can get to them readily. And I've told them that, you know, when I get on the commission that I'd be able to work with the town here, work with the county, and figure out what's the best way to do that, to take whatever resources y'all are willing to offer, to do whatever resources we can do to make sure that you have the coverage that everybody in this county deserves. Not only here in Boiling Rock, but also in the eastern part of the county as well, because there's a need out in there as well that needs to be met. So we need to figure out how we can make sure that the response times to all these areas is almost negligible. Because as everybody knows, every second counts when a life is at stake. And we don't want to risk losing someone just because we can't get there. And I do know that our response times are great around the county now. But can we do better? Yes. And should we do everything we can to put our resources to make sure that that happens? Yes. In this last budget, education was the top priority of things that got funded. But the second was all of the emergency services. And we need to keep building on that. And we need to keep trying to find ways to make things better so that we're all as safe as possible. I just want to say again, thank you for everyone who came out tonight. Thank you for everybody who stuck around for this last little flurry of closing statements, because I know everybody's ready to go home and be out. I just thank you for taking the time to be out here and to be with us and to listen and to be engaged, because that's what it takes for this community to thrive and this whole county to thrive is engagement. I also want to thank my wife and daughter who come out here to support me and be here tonight. They don't always get to be here, and it's just great to be able to have them beside me tonight. And so I just thank them for taking the effort to be out here tonight to support me, even on a school night when my daughters probably should be in bed. But, you know, folks, we've got a lot of issues in this county that we need to address, and we got a lot of issues here in Boiling Rock, and we've all got to work together, and we've got to come up with a solution and a plan. The strategic plan has been mentioned 3 or 4 times. This right here was written 8 years ago and thrown on a shelf. I was the chair of the committee that wrote this, and we went around to every single community. I sat right over here in the Boiling Rock Auditorium and listened to everybody's concerns, and they were in here in this strategic plan. Everything that's been talked tonight was addressed in the strategic plan, and it got put on a shelf. It's got put on a shelf and ignored. And when you do something like that, you've got to use it. You have to use what has been laid out in the plan that this county has. And so that's what I want to see us do. This needs to be updated and rewritten. But sadly, a lot of the things 8 years ago, and when I wrote this 20 years ago, since the one before it, nothing's changed. We need to work as a county and we need to set a plan, and we need to stick to it, and we need to get everyone in this room's opinions on that. Not only this room, but all over the county, and to work forward. Thank you.
Okay.